It's the crucial climate summit in Paris, 2 weeks after a deadly terror attack. The focus is to save the environment. India has major initiatives, but in this, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set or is likely to meet Pakistan's Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif on the sidelines of the Paris Climate Summit. This is the first meeting after the UFA summit in Russia. Both Prime Ministers, and these are the latest pictures that are coming in from Paris, both Prime Ministers waved at each other at the recently concluded United Nations Security Council meet. They are now both in Paris. There could be a quick pull aside is what we are being told. Of course, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has a quick pull aside with several heads of state and heads of government in Paris. He's also meeting the US President Barack Obama. But in all of this, India Today Group's editorial director Raj Chingappa breaking the story that in all likelihood there could be a quick pull aside between Prime Minister Narendra Modi. These of course are pictures of him meeting the French President François Hollande. India and France are to co-host a big climate initiative, and there's also another major initiative that India is spearheading of all the solar nations coming together for renewable energy. And joining me now with this breaking news story is Raj Chingappa, Group Editorial Director of the India Today Group, joining me live from Paris. Raj, what's the latest on Prime Minister Narendra Modi meeting Nawaz Sharif on the sidelines of the Paris climate meet?
Gaurav, he's just left the Hotel Athena and he's on his way through high security. A whole lot of gendarmes are around and they've moved, the convoys moved. I spoke to a high-ranking official and he said that there are over 20 meetings possible with leaders. But this is essentially going to be a pull aside because over there, it's, there are 160 leaders. Among them, certainly there will be President Obama there, President Putin. He might have a word with Xi Jinping, as well as the Japanese Prime Minister. But in terms of Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, they say everything's possible because in a meeting like that, they could just pull aside and have a quick meeting.
A quick meeting, and what can we expect? More than just a formal handshake? Something more than a handshake?
Well, I don't know if they're going to agree to talk about the India-Pakistan cricket match that everybody wants to know about. But the official emphasized that it is going to be essentially on climate change. All the meetings are not going to even, of course, security is there in the backdrop, the horrendous attacks that happened in Paris. That's the... I would call it the twin terrors that we are confronting with. One is, of course, climate change, that the big summit is going to happen in an hour, where all the leaders will assemble and make their pledges. And, of course, on the backdrop, the horrific attacks and terror. But I think most of the conversations, even with President Obama, is going to be about climate agreement and how we can, bridge the gap between the developed and developing countries.
Raj Chingappa, for the moment, many thanks for joining me. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has a major initiative here. Climate justice is something that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is talking about. Developed countries should bear the burden more than developing countries. And that is India's stated stance. The developed countries must bear the bigger burden to control climate change, since they have contributed predominantly to this climate change in the past century or two. Now, India has a huge delegation, 25-member delegation. Climate justice remains India's focus. Of course, the French President François Hollande and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also launch the International Alliance of 100 Solar-Powered Nations, the Solar Initiative. That is something that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is very keen on, and we will continue to get you more on that story.
Ni sa ga ma 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 ni pa ma ga sa ni pa ma ni sa pa sa. जहाँ तक याद आती रहेगी.